What is good, rookies, and welcome to our round 20 update. Few things to go over. First off, can't believe it's round 20, and it's also been a while since we've whipped out the old cowboy hat. So, Jonas, you're welcome. Few things to talk about. We're going to smash through the injury news. Nothing too crazy happening. Early retirements coming out of nowhere. But again, we're going to fly through these. Hinge is a test. Welsh is 1 week away. Ainsworth, his season is done, unfortunately. McCarthy, 4 to 5 weeks. Robertson test and Tunstall test as well. For Carlton. Now, the main one being the story of the week is Doherty is retiring. So, kind of due for it. Man's had a really good career, has faced some pretty tough, tough bumps along the road of playing AFL, and he's trumped them all and come back and really found his way in that halfback role. But again, the Hawks game seems to be the last for him. So if you have him in your team, a bit concerning. So we'll see what we can do if you did have trades and you needed to trade him out. But otherwise, look, from the injury list sort of thing, there's nothing really crazy. There's not even a test for this week. So just how it goes. Frampton's a test. Goey's a test. Houston and Howe are still 1 week away. And everyone else is still 1 to 2. Nothing crazy. Essendon, I mean, come on, look at this list. Sardis was going to have a run with all these injuries. No, does his hammy. No worries. Catch you later. A lot of seasons. How many? Look at this. Ridiculous. Fremantle, nothing too crazy, except the captain is still out for 1 week. Simpson is a test, though, so if you had him on your bench, you could have potential cover. So if you held him, I mean, sure, you're going to take it. It's just how it is. Duncan's still 2 weeks away. Cam Guthrie, again, not too relevant here, but is a test. Otherwise, the main talk is Stewie. So obviously went down with a bit of knee soreness. Wasn't the opposite knee to where he had his PCL injury, I believe. So take that as you will. Chucked ice on it when he got subbed out. Was actually playing very well. So a bit unfortunate for Stewart owners. There is a move for Whitfield if you wanted to get him in instead of Stewie. But if he gets up against North, then he's definitely a hold, in my opinion. Now, we've got Tuke Miller, who's now gone from 4 to 6 to 1 to 3. So this is awesome news for owners such as myself who desperately need him to come back ASAP. Again, we can probably treat this as the maximum 3, but hopefully they don't rush him back and then re-injure. We don't want to see that happening. We've got Hogan and Kelly and Taylor as a test. So some really big ins this week for GWS. Again, Daniels is nowhere near to coming back. Still 4 weeks. Just nothing else too relevant there. Hawthorn, Weddle, we got a Cole as a test as well. I think the main thing that we want to look for is Day here. The day has come. He is returning. So could be a massive in for the Hawks. Could really find form to finish off the season. Is he relevant for Supercoach? I don't think so. We're not bringing in someone who's just spent most of the season on the sideline. The only test is Sparrow this week, even if he even makes the list. May's 1 to 2 weeks with a concussion. Really interesting to see. It is Tuesday night, and I have not seen any tribunal updates yet in regards to May's outcome. Obviously, a big talk for the political stance of AFL. Tristan Sherry, again, doesn't come back till round 22. That is what it is. So still another 2 weeks away. But he's back up ruck 2 to 3 weeks. So I think Teakle is definitely going to be holding a spot there in the team. For Port Francis, they now say 6 weeks, but you imagine this is the season. Palpepper's season, Rady Galier's season, Vicentini season. We've got a test for Razee though, so he just needs to get past the main training session today when you're watching this on Wednesday. So hopefully all the reports are back that he's good to go from a hand fracture. So fingers crossed for Razee owners. I don't own him, unfortunately, or fortunately, if he does miss this week. Any test this week? McAuliffe is a test. See how that goes for anyone that hold on. Gray's still very far away. There's nothing. Seth Campbell's 1 week on concussion. Smiley's 1 to 2. Nothing too crazy here. But Bolter is available for the rest of the season. So even if we did have Gray, I doubt he'd be getting back into the team. In the St Kilda news, we've got Garcia out for 2 to 3 weeks. Keeler's still 1 to 2 away. Again, Philippou says to be 1 week now, so you had him and you didn't trade him out. Sure, might come back for you. Adams is a test, which is nice. Papley is also a test, so pretty decent ins for Sydney. Hopefully strengthen their run home to make sure everything goes to plan to try and get final shot. The main one is that they've just called Elliot Yeo. Season done. They're just going to keep him off, keep him on ice for the rest of the season, essentially, and have him ready for next season. And then Treloar's still 4 to 6. So I'd be really surprised if Treloar comes back. They'd probably just rest him, let's be really honest here. But outside of that, some major things to talk about in regards to our team. But we somehow, I want to say, don't say somehow, but didn't do that well. Didn't do that bad. Better than last week. Not as good as we should have been. Only went down 1,000 spots. Still within the top 10%, which has been like the bottom tier goal, I guess. Do we hold on to it? I don't know. We'll see how we go. Again, no trades here, so we're pretty much looping our Boxall and Houghton, scores, potentially moving on different things here. Like we're going to leave. McKercher was a butcher, but this is just how it is. But in regards to how we went with our captaincies and loops, went pretty well. So we went a Dacos captain off of Richards' horrible game of 62, where he was just Mr. Turnover. But now backline overall wasn't too bad. Bergman probably unders, I imagine. Really high tackle counts, so that's awesome. Holmes fine, Sheasel fine, Dale fine, Whitfield fine, Mills awesome for what we paid. Midfield probably was where all the stars were this week. So we had Dacos at 169, awesome captaincy. I don't know if this is... No, sorry. I'm an idiot. Let me undo these changes. I was going to say, I remember VCing green here. Now, we VC'd green and actually took it. So we took the 150. Dacos still went off for a 169. Didn't expect that. Happens. Sherry was our mighty captain. But again, Dunkley has just been quietly very, very solid. Our trade-in that you guys voted on, Callahan, has been decent. Hasn't blown us out of the water. Kind of what we wanted from a Callahan pick, but he hasn't done too badly. Again, Miller, just nice, icy cold. McCarthy's a bit confusing. Again, it was, I do believe he did get tagged for a little bit, which is a bit unfortunate. Like, you don't really expect it. You don't want it. It happens. So, is what it is. Not even sure if I'm remembering that game correctly. I barely watched footy on the weekend. Let's be honest. It was Richmond and West Coast. I don't believe he got tagged. Now that I come to recall, I'm getting so confused. Anyway, Ruck's gone 128, 106 or 3 point half. Like that, he was on 20 points at halftime, and then he just came back and smashed it. So really good. Baz 81, just bit of a frustrating own. Rakin decent. Warner decent. Daniel decent. Track, why'd we get him? Darcy, why'd we get him? And McKercher, political. He's a butcher. I barely watched this game, but when I did, I just watched this man not be able to make up his mind and kick it directly to an opponent. So you love that. You love that. Just kicking it straight to a Sydney man. Like, why? Just feeding them a chance at finals at this point. But again, talks of the town for this week were like a Heaney's and a Dacos. Spons went well. Just really solid performances from the big guns that we all kind of expected. So don't have any of them. Don't have a Butters. Don't have a Bont. Don't have a Liver. Like, it just wild times. And our team's like honestly not tracking too badly considering we have gone very potty this season. And I probably will take the same approach into next season as well. So we keep that in mind. I'm quite happy with where the team's sitting. We got unlucky with Took. I think Took was a great choice. Very potty. Has been very, very good this season. Just unfortunate, really, when you think about it. So it is what it is. Chaotic season. But in regards to, your replacements, so one's being you still had a Doherty. So Doherty is retiring after this week, if you have not heard the news. Seems to be the last game will be against Hawks, and then he's going to take a well-earned rest, which is, again, considering what he's gone through, he's had a tremendous career, brought back to, come back into the season and play really good signs. So major respect to him. awesome Blues. And again, Carlton copped a lot of trash this season so far, but got to give everything to that man. He's been an absolute star of the game. So what does that leave for super coaches if you have a Doherty? Well, if you don't have trades, not much. But if you do have trades, let's look at 437. So we're going to look at this price to see what is available around Doherty's price, because you honestly need to pivot somewhere. And this is worst case. So we're going to go for, let's just go in the middle. Let's go here. So let's go 3-run average, have a look. So Sweet obviously double-toned as well last week, so massive. Young's been playing well. Ridley's been pretty good. Not sure if you look there. Reed all of a sudden really good. But ones I do like moving forward, I don't mind Zach Guthrie. Again, that run home's nice and juicy. Bailey's been okay, but he is a key forward, so I wouldn't really look there. I actually don't mind a Dempsey pick here. Like any Geelong players, I think could be a decent shout. Sicily is probably one that you might want to look at, as well as a Manor. Again, Geelong players, that run home is so juicy. Oliver's been doing enough as well at a very cheap price if you wanted to pivot there. Keane has quietly been doing well. Who else is even in here? You probably wouldn't go short. Rioli obviously injured as well. Flanders is probably a decent shout with Tuke out. I don't mind Flanders. As it's taken all season to get there, I don't mind it. There's really no one else. Like, let's be real here. For averages over the season, though, if you haven't got Mills, you can grab Mills. TDK's down there, but I would not touch him. And like, who do you even look for? Baker has been okay, but just had a really quiet game. Boston, I wouldn't touch. Howe, maybe. Roberts, no. Graham, no. Injured, obviously. Not many options. Not many options at all. Don't mind a Jai Simpkin as a very left field pick. Not the worst. Yeah, look, there's probably not many options at your disposal, so you're probably going to go very potty anyway. I like Ridley just because of the role more than anything. So I actually really like Ridley here as a replacement if you can figure it out. If you've got some DPP you can swing around, I like Ridley a lot. So probably going there. You got Keys, wouldn't go near Bolton. Yeah, maybe Moore. Moore's been okay. More or Sicily, I think, very doable. Really no one else. Even Ned Long, like he's been okay. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Toby Green's still not too bad. Quietly, very much like the Toby Green pick. So, for direct replacements, there's probably nothing that you can instantly sideways to. But if you did have a little bit of cash in the bank, say up to 500, man, if you haven't got Sinclair, get on Sinclair. Again, and these are also replacements that we can start looking at for Tom Stewie now, who I believe is, what's he currently priced at? Yeah, so a replacement for now Stewie or Doherty if you got cash in the bank. Sinclair, I still think's a fine. Whitfield is probably the main target here. Dale also looks decent with the run home. Sheasel, I probably wouldn't even go there, to be completely honest, just because you never really know what role you're going to get with him. Shearer, I don't mind, but again, it's just a lot of concern. Pickett's a decent pod in the forward line, in the midfield as well, so don't mind that. Don't touch Newcomb. Atkins is a very quiet pod. I really like this pick as well. Kennedy can pop off. He's gone from like a 23 to a 124. Can be frustrating. Cripps is not bad. Who else we got in here? Yeah, look, they're probably my main ones that I'd look at. Yeah, I'm not really looking at anyone else here. So I'd definitely be picking off Whitfield or Sinclair as the first two picks there. Like, as if you're not going to go either of them. Like, I think Sinclair's past his quiet period now. He's back to finding some decent form. Obviously, Naz is blowing everyone out of the water, but still really, really good. And they've got a nice run coming up as well. So, good to see. Very, very cheap for Sinclair. Very, very cheap. Very frustrating. So, they're your main options. If you're looking at Doherty or Stewart replacement, Sinclair's probably your main one if you need to grab a mid and only a mid. Definitely get Sinclair if you got the cash in the bank. But if you need a defender and you can take a pick, definitely get Whitfield. I think it'll be great moving forward. I still don't mind Dale, though. Dale's definitely in the third running there. So, we've got Stewart replacements. We've got Doherty replacements. Again, if you have like a Noble, I think with Raleigh out, that kind of helps him a fair bit to steal some more of that the scoring potential as well. So awesome stuff there. That's really about it. We're not going to go into too much depth in these ones. It's more of just a quick update. We're going to quickly touch on VCs and Cs and then jump into some game day squad updates as well. So for this round, what are our options for VCs and Cs? Where are we going to put our captains? Thursday night, I'm going to pass on this. I don't think I own any Hawthorn or Carlton players now. So, but if you did want to, again, I don't mind a Hewitt here. If you want to go Doherty as a final game, he might actually rip it up and tear it up as a final game to end the career on. So, you could put a VC on Doherty and just send it if you wanted to trade him out next week instead. From Hawks, maybe Meek, but even then, Pitnet can do a decent job on the bigger rucks. So we'll see what happens there. I really like Friday night here. So a little bit annoying that we've got two games, like the the Clash and the Derby is just being split. Ridiculous, but is what it is. This one's probably going to be more competitive than Essendon versus Bulldogs. But I like a Richards, I like a Bont, I even like a Dale here. I don't like any Essendon players. If anything, if you get a Ridley in, definitely look at Ridley. I actually think Ridley's a decent shout here too. So the most favourable game here for VCs and Cs is obviously any Western Bulldogs player that you might have. Even a Darcy might pop off if you want to be very different. Again, just tagging threats on both sides, so I'm probably going to negate this game altogether. I like Rao here against the Brisbane. He's just been in absolute ripping form. So as a VC for Rao, early Saturday game, love it. Even then, I still think Dunkley's been a decent VC choice. So you can still go there if you want. If you have Sarong, Brayshaw, Jackson, Clark, any of those guys are going to be perfect VC options. We have none, so we can't do that for any of those guys. You imagine Jackson might pop off again, but I really don't think you can go wrong with any of them. I'll probably put Clark as the last VC option, Jackson as the first, and then probably Brayshaw then Sarong, just based on form. Then we've got Geelong versus North. Again, Marvel Stadium. I think Holmes is a decent shout as a captain. Smith, I don't know. I think I'm losing a bit of confidence on Smith. So I'll probably say Holmes might be a safe captaincy. He might just give you a nice 110, 120, which is exactly what you want. From Port and Adelaide, so another derby round. I don't mind Butters here. I also don't mind. I mean, they might send Bergman to Dawson. It's really hard to pick. It's probably a game where it's kind of negated a little bit, especially when we have this Sunday game, which is probably going to be the captain game, as if you're not captaining Dacos here. So I really love Nick Dacos. Even Josh Dacos, I think, will be a great captaincy option as well. Richmond players, I'm not touching at all. So I don't even know who you would have. But yeah, the Dacos bros are the ones, like your captains this week. So Nick Dacos will be my captain, 100%. And I am going to VC Richards against the Bombers. Good VC Holmes against North. He has had a decent run. So actually, he hasn't actually, let's be honest. I like Richards against Dons, though. He's probably my preferred pick. Can pop off. So we'll go there. And then, look, Gordon against Romo, I think's fine as well. Naz against Melbourne. I think that's a perfect captaincy option as well. Even to Sinclair, if you don't have like a Nick Dacos or something like that. From Melbourne, it's only Gorn. Only Gorn, and that's it. So that's our VCs and Cs done. Before we jump into game day squad, do let me know what you guys are doing down below for your VCs and Cs. If you got any trades left, what your plans are. Did you have Doherty? You're going to hold him for one more than trade him out. Let me know what your plans are with these players. We just need to pray that he comes back in like 2 weeks to even have a shot at finishing in the top 10% at this point. So we'll see how we go. But we're going to jump into game day squad. With all that said, though, make sure if you're just here for Supercoach content, make sure you like the video on the way out. Appreciate you guys and your support, especially in the quiet period of Supercoach. So if you're here, you're an absolute legend and an OG. I'm already in the think tank for next season in regards to how I want to play it, but also like the types of content that you guys want to see. So if you have any content ideas or things that you'd love to see from content creators in Supercoach, let me know in the comments below, because I am throwing wild things out there. We created the After Dark community and stream And that's going to be a very staple thing that's going to be a part of this channel. So, and we'll get many a guest on. So it's going to be very, very exciting for next season. But moving into Game Day Squad, just to touch base on how we did. So in our private league, we actually came first. So we actually had a really good round in Contender Squad. We had 2705 points. So just bet Joe 90 and Basil Wishes, who have been absolutely smashing it this season for Contenders. Joe's currently sitting just above me. And when I say just above me, there's a good, at least 350 points between us. But Basilicious is absolutely smashing it. So on the chase for you, mate. I'm going to come for you. We're going to quickly open some packs before we even look at our team. So we're going to open up 3-player common. Again, common packs are the real juicy ones here because they can give us a few decent cards. So we've got a McKercher. It's actually decent. Silver McKercher is actually quite nice. A Smiley, good for next year. And Windsor, don't mind at all. And then a 9-player. Hope we get something decent here. So who we got? We've got a Weddle. We've got a Howells. We've got a Reedy, Van Royen, Brody Smith, rookie. Oh, platinum Zach Bailey out of nowhere. Pickett, silver. I actually really like that. Silvers are really good. I feel like I'm making my team with more silvers than I am golds. So I haven't touched my team yet in regards to how we're going to structure it. But we're actually going to look at our matchups. And that's how we're going to play it. So I think Bulldogs against Dons, I think, is a clear one here. So we're going to keep Bont in. We might move Goulden down to just a bronze play for now. Let's just move him down to that. We want Sarong and Brayshaw. I don't know if we have a silver Sarong. So we're just going to leave him there. But we may move. We want Dacos. We also somehow want to get our gold Richards in here. So we could potentially. Holmes is a decent matchup. Naz is a good matchup. We want Clark. Our ruck situation. So Grundy is coming up against Briggs. We want that. And then Gorn against Romo. Probably still want that. But what we might do is we might move McRae down to a bronze. So I'm pretty sure we still have Pickett. So who else we got? We got Daniel, who's been safe. We've already got him in. Yeah, let's just get in. I'm pretty sure I have a bronze. Do I not have a bronze McRae? Interesting. Well, we're just going to put a bronze in. Let's go. We'll go Toby Green for now. I will find a bronze. We'll find a bronze McRae. But again, we could just load up. We could even go our gold Luke Jackson, to be honest, instead of Richards, thinking he might have a better game. We might actually make this a bronze Bailey Smith and then make our Goulden a gold Ed Richards, just because I don't have a lot of faith in Smith at the moment. And we've used up 100% of our salary cap doing this, but are we playing the matchup? So Josh Dacos against Richmond, Nick Dacos against Richmond, Brayshaw, Sarong, and Clark and Jackson against West Coast. I do like. We got Richards and Bont against Dons. We could probably swap out Noble here for Dale. Dale will have a good game. Again, playing those matchups. Zorko against Suns. So who else we've got here? Sheasel, no. I think Sinclair against Melbourne could be nice. Probably load up on that matchup as well. Yeah, let's go Sinclair here. Holmes I like. Whitfield and Ash I still think are a great combo. I'm actually quite happy with that back line. Rucks I'm pretty happy with. Daniel's always a safe. I like Kennedy here still as well for that matchup. Pickett against Saints should be fine. Yeah, we just got to hunt down a bronze McRae, I think, and we'll be sitting pretty. So I think this is going to be our squad moving forward for round 20. See, easy as that. Now, in regards to giveaways, TBC, to be continued. Check my Twitter. Make sure you stay up to date with all that. It's just Rookie Coach AFL. Any giveaways for Game Day Squad always happens over there. So make sure you guys are following me there to be up to date with everything. But that's it. Where are we at? 24 minutes. Decent job. So for Game Day Squad, let me know what your contender squads are looking like. Just post it on X and Twitter and tag me in it. Really keen to see how other people structure their team. Again, there's a lot of diversity that you guys can do with your rarities and matchups and how you play that. So I tend to lean towards more silvers and having a couple of golds thrown in there for matchup purposes. Outside of that, though, I think there's just a lot of flexibility you can have. So thank you so much for all the love and support, guys. You guys have been awesome. We have purchased a new camera, which hopefully looks a little bit better. We have gone with the darker mood lighting to set the tone. But yeah, if you've made it this far, make sure you like the video. Make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys want to see from next season. We are getting to that quieter period. So if you have made it this far, you are an OG. You are a legend. And I love you. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.